Hello and welcome to Was It Good, a podcast that talks about absolutely nothing and everything. I am this week's host, Krishna, and I am joined by two and a half brothers, Ravi, Arjuna, and Michael. How's it going, everyone? I decided to just introduce you instead of going around, have that awkward who goes next.
And we are
wasn't good.
Oh my god.
And we still got it. We still got it.
Somehow, Christian, I feel like the whole reason you did that is because you wanted to talk more.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep this to a tight 25, where I talk for 18 of 25 minutes.
You originally said in your text, though, this is going to be 30 minutes.
Yes.
Going down by 5 minutes every minute.
You guys got a text?
You just got a link. You showed up.
because we were like, oh, we should invite Lerman, and everyone was like, Krishna, are you going to do that? You going to do that? And I invited him last night, like pretty much yesterday, and he was like, yeah, I'm in. It's like, oh, nice. So, anyways, that's why you don't have me host these things. But here we are. So, how is everyone doing? That's the first order of business. Arjuna, you will go first.
Well, my name is Arjuna, and I am doing good.
Are you doing good in the world, or?
Sure.
Nothing new, nothing interesting in the world of Arjuna.
Well, I have officially changed my last name. So I've been.
Oh yeah, didn't you get married?
I did get married over a year ago. Finally, 14 months later, I've officially finished going through changing my last name to Ramgo Powell.
I've heard that process is a nightmare.
It is. It's terrible.
Oh really?
Everything's stupid.
Yeah, and like the process of trying to get it changed is just so.
It's very time consuming.
Did you when you get married?
Like synchronized in any way? Which say that again, Michael?
I only asked because I thought name changing at marriage was like easy, but I've never been married, nor have I changed my name. I promise.
If you're a woman, it's easier. The female is able to just change it. For on the male side, it's difficult.
It's not easy for anybody.
Yeah,
it's actually quite time consuming and difficult. In every respect.
It's not sexist.
It's not sexist.
So
it's just you have a lot of documents that you need to send, and there's also just no easy way to do it. You have to, and every single place is different because you have to basically contact every single aspect of your life, every bank, every airline, every application, every social media account, your passport, your social security, your license, and every single department has a different way that they do it. And also the department generally doesn't know how they do it. So
wait, hold on. Do you think though, like the current administration made it harder? I mean, do you have any insight?
It seems like the process. So my only insight is that clearly official places have started to change some of their processes because like there have been times we've been told one thing and then it's something else. Same thing with like private companies. You know, we're like, oh, we used to do it this way. Now we just started doing it this way instead. Some ways it seems quite sketchy in terms of how they do it. Like one place, a bank, I won't say the name of the bank, was like, yes, we used to do this in person. Now we just do it over the telephone. And I was like, that seems
secure,
dangerous.
Wait a second.
I mean, you were just complaining about how hard it was.
Why are you protecting a bank?
Well, I don't want to get sued.
Name the bank.
I don't want to get sued.
Yeah, it's Bank of America. We all know it's Bank of America.
Over, like, their processes.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's actually Bank of America, but I hate Bank of America.
Nope, neither of those.
Yeah.
First,
Ravi got it. Congratulations.
Did it really, Chase? Wow,
it's Chase.
Easy.
Yeah.
I thought they were better.
There's like 3 banks.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
That run the world.
Well, Judah, thank you for telling us how it's going. I'm going to guess the passport was the hardest to change.
The passport took the longest, for sure.
Yeah.
It was interesting, too, because Sahara, my wife, and I put in...
Who's that?
My wife.
Yeah.
We put in our... We sent off our passports at the exact same time. And Sahara got hers, and I didn't get mine for another month.
I mean, Arjuna, let's be real. I think everyone on this pod knows why. That took forever.
They were trying to get the spelling right.
But it is concerning in the times that we live in, when when you have to when you have to renew your passport or make a change on your passport, you have to send in your old passport. So you are without your passport for X amount of time, which, especially now, can be a concerning thing. So it was a bit nerve-wracking not to have my passport for a little bit.
Wait, is that why you couldn't come to Japan? That's the real reason?
No, I had it back by then.
Oh, okay.
But it was
he just didn't want to.
Yeah. Well, you missed out. You missed out, Juna. As a pescatarian, you missed out. Michael, how are you doing?
Generally good. Generally good. I live, I breathe, sometimes I eat. I don't sleep a lot.
Sleep, overrated. More time for work.
I thought so, but then the days drag on, and suddenly you find yourself exhausted, and I'm good. I'm inventing stuff that I don't want to talk about because it's proprietary.
I want to be like, can you talk about that, or do you have a self-imposed NDA?
Yeah, no, I'm sure I don't have an NDA.
Self-imposed NDA.
I need to check with myself, my lawyer,
out there in New York.
Exactly. That's why I'm in New York. I'm meeting with myself. No, but I have partnered with ChatGPT, and the two of us have been developing a system for the iPhone that I think is very exciting for those who are in the cinematography field and like doing that kind of thing. So it's been interesting. I've learned a crap ton about microcontrollers and components, like going through and getting like CAD drawings and measurements to like 0.04 millimeters. I have some parts that I have to like embed in a piece of copper, like less than 0.5 millimeter deep, and I have to carve these channels into copper. It's going to be crazy. I learned a lot about 3D printing. PETG or PETG is a filament type that I hadn't used before, but now I don't know why I'd use anything else. It's flexible, strong. Anyway, this isn't an advertisement for 3D printing, but I've just been getting into a lot of really weird component level electronics, and I'm about to try and solder something that possibly isn't like human solderable. So, the project's in a state of confusion.
Oh, I mean, that every project has to go through that layer of confusion. Real quick, when you're working with stuff that small, what kind of tools do you use? Do you use like lasers? Like how do you make that work on that scale?
But we have yet to find out. I have a soldering iron that I bought to smooth my PLA, and I'm like, I'll use that to solder the stuff. And I just came up with this thought. So like it gave me a layout of one of the boards that I have to make, and the actual size of the entire board is this by this, and it has 10 components on it. So I'm the manufacturers, Texas Instruments mostly, has like 3D models of each of these parts. So I'm going to go into Blender and I'm going to seat them all in based on this layout. And then I'll print a copy of it in actual size if my printer can print that small. And then I want to print a little like jig or something that fits around that. And then I'll lay the jig on the board and then just place each component there and then flip it over and then hopefully just be able to solder it. So we'll see. Right now I've just printed and designed the case, the parts that will hold all of these electronics and stuff. So the hard parts are yet to come. But I'm great at Blender now. Boolean, a great tool.
Hell yeah. It's funny because I feel like this project is so hard that success or fail, you'll be able to do like like if I come up to you and like I need a battle map of something, can you design something in Blender? You're like, what? I can do that in 20 minutes. And like, boop,
Yeah,
boop.
as long as it's square or round, and I can like create a simple shape that can cut out of
Yeah.
the square, then yeah, I could do that. Don't give me complicated.
What if it's a triangle?
Oh, actually, I don't know how I would do it. No, I mean I've accidentally made a lot of triangles, but yeah, no, it is so hard. That's the thing that is really weird is it's beyond my abilities, and I'm relying on ChatGPT to like do the math and make sure everything's good and tell me what a MOSFET sensor is. So if it's wrong, I don't know. So, and that's part of the problem is it keeps giving me different parts every time I tell it what did we decide on, and then it's like here's this, and I'm like, that one's different. I don't know what it does, but it's not the same, and so now I'm lost.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well,
Anyway.
yeah. Well, good old Chat, our new best friend.
I
Yeah.
still haven't used ChatGPT.
Not one.
Not once.
That's. I feel like it's a lie.
It's true. I haven't used it yet. I have yet to dive into the world of AI.
Then you don't know that the worst
your
thing
job easier, right?
Yeah, I'm a boomer now. I don't understand this ChatGPT.
Arjun is basically Arjun is basically the generation that was like, I don't like this Google thing. Yeah, Arjun's
What's a
being
computer?
We don't take kindly to this little computer thing.
These robots.
Ribbits.
Robots. The worst thing about AI is not that it'll take our jobs; it's that we can't herd it.
The fuck?
Because it is frustrating to work with sometimes, and it's very uppity about like, no, I'm very correct, and it never is.
I love it. We all know those people who are like, I am right. No matter everything I say is right. No one can disagree with me. We all know those people, and it sounds like ChatGPT is the king of that.
Yeah, I think my mom would say I don't like it because we're so alike.
Isn't ChatGPT though like part of the thought process behind it is it's personalized to you based off of your conversations that you have with it, and it learns kind of in a way your personality. So it is to a degree mimicking you.
Wow, that explains so much. It cannot remember things for the life of itself. Like seriously, that's the biggest complaint. I keep yelling at OpenAI's employees through the chatbot. Like, how is it not able to remember something it has a list of?
Right.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, that is bizarre.
I'm sorry, I don't need to rant about ChatGPT.
No.
That's why we have to get rid of the AIs.
Like I said, we're going for the algorithm in this episode. So we've hit like name changing passport stuff. We've hit AI and Blender. Ravi, what's going on in your life? Let's keep this algorithm going. Something good. Give us something good.
I just rewatched off Star Trek: Strange New World.
Wait, you rewatched it? Strange New World?
Because the new season's coming out in like a month, and I don't like to listen to music when I work out. I like to watch shows or have them on. So I rewatched off Star Trek: Strange New World, and on a second rerun, I realized that the writing in that show and like the kind of connective tissue is not as good as I remember.
Oops.
Simple example, the doctor of the ship, for example, he has a daughter. It's a big plot point in the first season. And then she goes off and joins some entity. And then come second season, she's never mentioned again. And also now the doctor is suffering heavily from the Klingon War and PTSD. So
isn't that classic Star Trek though in so many ways?
That. Yeah.
Sounds like a case of they couldn't get the actor for the second season, so they just needed a convenient way to write her off.
Well, I mean, it was a kid, right? So I don't know. I don't know if that is necessarily the case. It's just more like it just feels like two different characters altogether, and they're not related from the first to the second season.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, there we go. We got Star Trek. That's pretty good for the.
That'll
for the
hit
algorithm.
some sort of algorithm.
Yeah. So I sent you guys like a little outline of like two things.
Wait, you didn't say what's new in your life.
Yeah. Sus.
What is new? So last night after we played Helldivers, minus
I
our
wasn't
Juno.
there.
Yeah, Juno wasn't there,
Well,
and we did
Tell me
really
what
good.
happened. Did you guys fight bugs,
We
aliens,
went 10 for
robots?
10.
the aliens.
Yeah, we went 10 for
Okay.
10. We got like
10
a
for
million
10?
rare samples, and we
What?
kicked ass. Yeah,
A
Yeah,
million?
everyone's level 50 now.
Damn, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be so far behind.
you are. You're already behind. But it's funny. So after Helldivers, it wasn't quite my bedtime yet. So I was like, oh man, I need a new game. I'm kind of tired of playing Digimon. So I don't know if you guys have heard of this game, Expedition 33. It's been getting
No.
rave reviews, and what blew my mind is that it's a turn-based RPG. And so I got it. I didn't really look into it. I was like, you know what? It's getting super hyped up. And I played the first hour. The first hour is like, oh, this was like Final Fantasy 10. It's like Final Fantasy 16. And then I got to the end of the first hour. I was like, it got unsettling and pretty cool cinematic story stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm in. I get it.
Well, was it a horror game or?
No, I don't think so. It's like a fantasy, dystopian future fantasy kind of stuff.
What is it called? I need it.
Expedition 30. Oh yeah, Limit. This is
This is what we're doing for D&D.
I guarantee Lerman will love it. I'm pretty sure Juno would like it. Ravi, I think, would be bored in about 5 minutes. I'm pretty sure. If I was going to pitch it to you guys,
Probably right.
just
Well, as soon as you said
on the kind of
turn-based-
games you like.
As soon as you said turn-based RPGs, I was like, "Oh, great, cool. That's
Yeah,
not that interesting."
yeah. It's not Ravi's jam, which is
It's his jelly.
it says gelling.
Yeah, it's
Jelly.
a little less
Jelly,
less
'cause
chunky.
it's like, you know,
There's
jelly.
probably only 3 games left that are going to come out in my lifetime that I'm interested in.
Wait, can I guess?
Yeah, go for it.
GTA 6.
Yep.
That's all I got. I don't know what the other two are.
Helldivers 3.
Oh, obviously another Halo.
So yeah, another Halo or the Halo ports to PlayStation, and then the Gears of War ports to PlayStation. And truly, I don't think there'll be any other game that comes out that I'm like, oh, this is good or I'm interested in.
Nobody will ever need more than 1 gigabyte of RAM.
There's only one other game I'm looking forward to in the near future, and that's damn it, I'm totally drawing a blank on the name. The makers of No Man's Sky.
Oh yeah, Fire. The Fire
Fire,
thing.
Light No
yeah,
Fire.
Light No Fire. Yeah.
That's the only other game I'm really looking forward to.
I'm so
Comes out hopefully this
hyped
year.
for that.
Hopefully.
It's this year?
I think the current release date is like Q4 2025. I have a feeling it'll be delayed, but
Everything in the gaming world is just delayed now.
That's how it's always been. We just didn't pay
some
attention.
companies
and-
maintain their. I think like
Cadence.
GTA 6 has made it worse, honestly.
GTA 6
Well,
is
Grand Theft Autos have never ever come out on time. The first
5
trailer
came
for
out
like
on time.
no, it did not.
I think we've lost the Learman audio.
Yeah,
Learman's
Learman's gone
audio.
muted on us.
We cannot hear you, Michael.
That's so weird because we were just now.
Maybe Rockstar got to him.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
they heard him.
basically.
They heard us talking about Grand Theft Auto, and they're like,
Boop, boop, boop.
"No more of this." No, but Grand Theft Auto has not come out on time in a long time. 4 and 5 both had over year and a half, 2 years delays.
What's 6's delay at this point? 10 years?
No, I mean
15?
it's only been a year so far. So
Oh. I mean, from official announcement of development to wherever
Yeah.
they're at currently.
well, they were smarter for this one. They didn't give it an official
release date.
They never gave it an official release date until the May one for next year. It was
I mean,
all
the number of
speculated.
jokes of like, we're going to get GTA 6 before this thing. And the idea being that GTA 6 is just never going to come out, which is really.
Which one comes out first, Avengers Doomsday or GTA 6?
Oh, yeah. Didn't that just get delayed?
That got pushed
They
6
start,
months.
yeah.
you know what? We do this every time. We're not a movie and TV show review podcast, but somehow fucking Marvel comes up. Doomsday, they
Who
start
talked
shooting.
about that?
Oh, there it is.
He's back.
Doomsday started shooting without a finished script. This is why.
So
I'm
has
out on
every
Marvel.
other Avengers movie. Do you think any of the Avengers movies has ever had a finished script? The
Yes.
answer is
Yeah, I was
no.
going to say, I feel like I often hear about like, oh, we didn't actually have parts of the script for this or that when we were filming. But
the rumor also for Doomsday is that they do have a finished script. They're not giving anyone the finished script because of leaks.
That
they're
just
only
sounds
giving
like someone
people-
didn't finish the script.
They're only giving people their pages, possibly.
it could also be that they don't have a finished script because they have parts that need.
Oh, he cut
Yeah,
out.
we lost his
Michael
audio again.
Curious where he was going with that.
Disney got him just like Rockstar got him. You know, he was about to like.
All these big IPs are tapping into Living right now.
They're
How are
tapping
they
in.
tapping into his
Hopefully
system?
he jumps back in a minute. Let's jump into the first. I only have 2 topics of discussion I wanted to hit. The first one is we'll start with the more serious one or the more interesting one. But my question to you fellas, because we're all work in various creative fields and we all have creative outlets and passions and hobbies and stuff.
Guys have hobbies?
When you guys hit creative blocks, when you are working on something, a project, whether personal or for work, and you hit a roadblock and you're like, I'm not sure how to do this. I don't know what the next 1 to 6 steps are to complete this. What do you guys do to overcome those blocks? I'm also going to throw in like lack of motivation. All of a sudden, your motivation goes through the floor. You don't have it, but you got to get through this. Either you want to or you need to. What do you guys do individually to push past those blocks?
Mine's pretty straightforward. There's a classic internet video of this crazed actor. He's in front of a green screen and he just yells at you and says, "Just do it." And I live most of my life by the crazy man screaming at me of just doing it. So
How many
the
pairs
great
of
company
Nikes do
Nike
you own?
said, "Just do it."
I hope
Dial above.
you represent your life philosophy of course pushing through creative blocks with your shoe wear.
I actually don't think I own any Nikes. Now that I think about
Yeah.
it,
I don't
change
think you
that.
do.
yeah, I don't.
You're an
Yeah.
Adidas man.
Yeah,
Adidas.
Are you?
I Adidas as well. And immature people know what that means.
no, but in all seriousness, creative blocks happen obviously all the time. I don't know. I think it's one of those things where, as I've gotten older, I've learned that it's okay to have creative blocks and not get pissed off or annoyed at yourself when you're like, you just can't do it. And what usually helps me is stop focusing on what you have to do or need to do and move on to something else. And it can be something as simple as like, like, oh, I need to edit something. It's like, oh, I don't want to edit. I have no creativeness to do it. So then it's like, okay, I'm going to go wash the dishes or maybe I'll do my laundry or just something mundane. And that seems to like kick me back in.
Oh, that's interesting. It's funny you say that because the main reason I asked this is because it happens all the time, right? Like, you have stuff for work or your own personal stuff. You're like, okay, I want to get through this. I need to get through this, and I don't feel like it. And I recently came across this method of like the 52-17 method. You set your timer for 52 minutes, and you dedicate that. You turn off all the distractions. You turn off email and text. Put your phone in a different room. Turn off all your apps, and and you hone in on your thing for 52 minutes, and like knowing in your mind that you only have 52 minutes, and then when that timer goes off, you go and you do something mundane, walk around, do dishes for 17 minutes, and then you come back for 52, and that's been absolutely game changing for me. I've noticed by breaking it up like that, instead of sitting there and forcing yourself to try and do something for 2 hours straight. Breaking it up is like really helps me like ignore the fact that you're blocked sometimes because like I'm gonna try and tackle this for 52, all right, and I'm gonna go do something else, come back, and it's been game changing for me. So
is there any correlation between 52 and 17 equaling 69?
I don't think so. I only came with those numbers because I looked up what's the most productive ratio of time to rest. And so I think Stanford or Harvard came up with they just noticed they tracked the more productive workers at these companies and noticed that they worked for 52
College
minutes.
Students?
No. Oh yeah. Stanford student body. Yeah.
Oh,
no, I don't know what
boy.
companies, but that was the ratio that they noticed the most like
Nice.
productive people. So
Have you heard of the
Nice.
Pomodoro method? The Pomodoro method is 25-5 for a cycle, and then a 15. So it's based
cool.
on the hour, not the 69. So it's not as cool, but
yeah. It's not as noise.
yeah.
But Arjuna, what do you do? What do you do for creative blockage
Yeah,
killing?
I think similar to both of you guys. I guess the one thing I'll add is like when I have a creative block, when I just can't figure out a problem, or I'm stuck creatively like in a corner and I can't figure a way out, right? You know, if it's doing something like that, I try to change my perspective up. You know, so I might, you know, I'll see what my routine is at that time, right? If I'm just like on Twitter a lot and looking at sports stuff, I might try and be like, I'm going to read a book. I need some like kind of creative infusion somewhere, or I'm going to pick up a video game I haven't played in a while, or revisit this movie, or talk to people I haven't talked to in a while, or something like that. Because I think sometimes we can get stuck in our routines. You know, whether that be like work or, you know, talking to a lot of the same people at the same time or doing a lot of the same things over and over again. So I think for me, breaking up that routine sometimes and, you know, trying to be exposed to other things can help kind of spark creativity, right? Because I think like this reminds me of COVID when it was just like, yeah, we work from home every day and, you know, you're kind of doing the same thing over and over again. And you just kind of get like stuck, right? You're like, I'm in these like 3 rooms all the time. I'm just talking to people on like Slack and email. I'm seeing like the same 4 people over and over again. And so like life kind of repeats itself a little bit, right? So you can kind of get stuck in those patterns. So I think breaking up those patterns, you know, whether that's even just going on like a different path for my walk or whatever it is, can just kind of help get a different perspective or a different feel. I kind of notice this too, even when like driving, like when you drive the same paths and you're in the driver's seat versus like in the passenger seat or sitting in the back seat, it's like you notice completely different things when you drive down the same streets. And I'm like, what the? I never noticed that there
Arjuna,
was this like thing over here, you know?
Arjuna, don't lie. If you're in the passenger seat or you're in the back seat, the only thing you see is the back of your eyelids. You are out like a light. You are taking a
After
nap.
5 minutes.
That's why you see everything so different. You're like,
Time that I'm awake.
Arjuna's
I'm
like, I was,
probably having
I was
dreams.
flying through hell that one time.
yeah,
That's
I
a
never
dream,
noticed that
Arjuna.
elephant that flies by every day.
I'll say on the driving piece, what I've been doing, because I commute obviously all the way down to the west side from the valley, and it's a long commute sometimes. And what I've been doing recently to entertain myself is I've been fucking with Waymos.
What's that?
What?
The self-driving cars? I hate those.
Why?
Because
Really?
I get bored.
Yeah.
Wait. How do you fuck with them?
You
Yeah.
you just like get in front of them, go slow, or like if they're trying to like change lanes, you don't let them over because they're not aggressive, right?
They always fuck
can
up
be.
in downtown and cause a lot of traffic. So I think
probably
it was
because
like
people like me fuck with them.
I think it was like a month ago. There was, you know, there's always big protests and whatever here downtown, and there was another one, and there was some traffic right by the back street to my building, and there was a Waymo that was just stuck there, and they had closed the road and it couldn't go right, but it didn't recognize that the road was closed, so it was just in the turn lane and like couldn't go, and I like it was blocking all these cars. They had to have a police like come up to it and like open it. I was curious. I'm like, how does the police get into there? Like, you know, in terms of like what the codes are and stuff and all that.
I'm sure they smashed the window.
They didn't. Like, they'd opened it, unlocked.
That's a
So
very
I don't know
expensive
like
car.
how that worked. But I was just like, this is just bad. But the other thing they have a lot of in downtown are those little little delivery carts, little robot carts. And
So
I was walking the other day, and there's a Domino's down the street from where I live. There were 9 of those things outside of the Domino's, like gathered, and I was like, "Holy shit!" This is
Wait. This is blowing my mind. I don't know if this is because I don't drive, I don't leave my apartment, or I live in Denver. It's probably a combination of all 3 of these.
Sure.
These are 2 brand new things I've never heard of: Waymos and these delivery robots.
So
Yeah,
the
they
have
delivery
names
drivers,
on
they've
them.
been going for like years now. They started in Hollywood, and then they've moved to downtown. They're in Culver now.
I've never seen one.
They're little delivery bots that can do food delivery or like
beverage
send like your
deliveries.
buddy something
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
send
and I mean they
drugs.
have like people who can drive them if they need to
Yeah.
Same with the
remotely,
Waymo cars. They can take control.
which is why that
Yeah.
surprises me. Your story, Arjuna.
I guess somebody like just wasn't paying attention and like hadn't taken.
Somebody was
Oh,
taking a
now
bathroom
seems like a
break.
good time for a smoke.
Yeah. The operator that day was like,
Wasn't
oh, no.
you guys remember
Yeah.
the whole 5G initiative from Verizon, right? And one of their big selling points of 5G was remote connectivity to like control self-driving cars.
What the
So I did
hell?
not hear about that. That sounds insane. Don't
Waymos.
let other people control. So
Is Waymos all over the U.S. or is it just
No,
in?
it's in
It's in, like big cities.
we have
right?
them
San
here in New
Francisco,
York.
Los Angeles, Phoenix, Arizona, and somewhere else. It might
So
be
not Denver.
Chicago.
not Denver. I think Denver's coming up.
Okay.
Do they have them in
that
New
makes
York?
me feel better. That makes me feel better because it'd be even worse if they were here and I just didn't know. So
Yeah.
I mean, you would love them because there's no driver, so you don't have to like
Yeah.
make small talk.
Or deal with a driver who drives.
Yeah, or a
I
driver
wish
who
everything was self.
or a driver who's like, "Hey, do you work in the music biz? Listen to me play my trumpet. Can you get me a deal?" And
You know, what'd be
here,
great though if
let
the
me pull
AI.
my Instagram and
Someone
show
try
you
to-
while I'm driving.
someone try to play the trumpet while driving.
No, trumpet. They try showing me the like trumpet videos on Instagram while they were driving.
Ooh. While they're driving.
That's trombone, Krishna.
Clearman, how do you
Ah.
get through creative blocks?
You guys gave great answers. I don't.
Yeah, that's me. That's why I even asked the question.
I spiral into a nihilistic despair at my own inadequacies for a few years, and then I come on a podcast and tell people about it.
Yes. Finally, an honest answer. Not the answer I read in a textbook. I'm kidding.
But no, I mean, that is true. But also, everything you guys said also has really worked for me. The car thing, I tried this out when they were talking about, like, I don't remember if you guys remember. I don't remember if you remember, but Amtrak had a deal where if you were like a rider, you could ride for free because people were finding that being creative while in motion was helping. And that actually seems to be true. Like, I would ride the bus sometimes and just ride out to the beach for an hour or whatever, and then ride back. And there is something about that forward motion that, even though that seems strange to say, but like the physical movement through something also seems to propel the thoughtfulness of stuff. And in the car too, like I'll put on a, like a story podcast or something that, isn't, that has a narrative that I want to follow. And then that kind of helps as well to kind of get that absorbed, but also not focus on like the drive. Well, I mean, you focus on driving, but like if I don't have something to do, then I'm focused on this guy being too slow, or this guy being an a-hole, or this guy getting in the way of the Waymo.
Yeah, that's it. The motion thing's really interesting because many people have said when you're stuck, just go for a walk, right? I know it's figured that's like blood flow, but it makes me think like the idea of like in a train or in a car. I wonder if it's like sort of that inner ear, like rebalancing like your fluids. I don't know.
Yeah, or
It
like
also-
maybe the change. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, kind of related to all of this, like, if there's like a big project that I have to work on, right? And it's just like, it's so overwhelmingly large or daunting, sometimes just going into it cold turkey can be really difficult. So it's sometimes easier to just do like a small task or two, right? Like, washing the dishes, right? Or taking out the trash, or like, showering. Something like where it's just like, I've completed this, and it kind of like gets you into the mindset of like, I'm completing things, I'm doing things, like forward momentum almost, right? Because I think sometimes if I was like, I'm dedicating this entire day to this project, you get up and you're like, damn, this is just so overwhelming.
Can't
Like
do it. Yeah.
I gotta like build up to this, right? I've got to like maybe get some things done to like build up to his task.
Get some wins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, I envy that. I can't
Yeah.
seem to.
Honestly,
to do
video
that.
games taught me that, right? Like, you can't just go and fight the big boss and expect to win. You have to do all those smaller little, like, dumb fetch
You got to
quests.
grind and
Like,
level up.
you got to grind and level up. Yeah.
That's why I don't like turn-based RPG.
I haven't.
That's why I've never beaten an RPG. I lose, and then I'm like, I'm not good enough, and then I have to go buy another game.
I just keep replaying as a different character.
I just
What
lower
happens
the-
if I do it this way?
I lower the difficulty.
Ravi plays on
Oh,
story
that's
mode.
actually a good idea.
Actually,
I-
Expedition 33 has a story mode. By the way, also the voice cast for Expedition 33. It sounds like I'm plugging this game. I swear I've only played an hour.
Sponsored
Wasn't
by
good. Brought to you by
Expedition
Project
33.
33.
Daredevil.
Please.
Charlie Cox, right? Is Daredevil? He's the voice actor of the main guy.
He
in
prefers Charlie
Oh.
Penis now.
Charlie Penis. Oh my god.
Don't get penisy, kid.
Because, cock.
Fun fact, that line has been cut from the
Family Guy?
Family Guy episode on the Disney Plus and Hulu areas. Yeah.
Why?
Don't get penisy, kid. I don't know.
Penis, probably.
Because it's not Han Solo's real line?
Maybe.
Like, that's so stupid.
Don't get
Like, there's no other
penisy.
reason if they
Don't
anyways.
get redacted word.
Speaking of penises, the last topic of conversation today
What a
is very
segue.
important. I read a statistic. I don't think it's true, but I read a statistic that
never
the average
measured.
person spends 3 years on the toilet in their lifetime. I don't think that's true. I think it's probably more like a year. Like 3 years sounds excessive. Maybe Ravi can hit those numbers, but for the rest of us, we're at like maybe a solid year. It doesn't matter. Over a lifetime, we're all going to spend many, many months on the toilet, mostly going number two. Number two being the poop. So, my last question to the fine gentleman of this podcast today is, what toilet activities do you like to partake in when you sit down and you know you're going to be there for a couple of minutes to an hour?
Days?
What? The only reason this is relevant is because of this device I'm holding in my hand. The invention of the iPhone. Maybe before it was magazines and newspapers and boring old books. But now we have a whole interactive element device in our hands, at our fingertips. And that has been game-changing for the amount of time we're going to spend on the toilet. In fact, I would suggest that the amount of time we're going to spend in our lifetime on the toilet has gone up exponentially because of these devices.
Do you think social media increases toilet time?
You have to tell me. My question to each of you is, what are your favorite activities to do while going number two on the toilet? Learman, we'll start with you.
Well, I think we can all relate to the poop and a wank.
Yes. I knew there was a reason we asked you to be on here.
Like,
Oh,
Or Reddit.
love it. Love it. Sometimes those are all related.
Yeah, they could all three be somehow connected. Not the lemonade though. That is a separate tube. Anyway,
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I used to read. Now it's mostly Reddit or book. No, it's Reddit, or I
It's
stare and wonder why my legs are falling asleep.
Oh yeah, that's happened to me as I've gotten older. If I sit for too long, I get pins and needles in my feet. I'm like, ew.
Bad circulation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
it's
great.
been happening to me since I was like 6.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
I think it's because we spend a lot of time on the toilet. We enjoy
Too much time.
every moment of our life.
Yeah, too much. Real quick, Lumen, what are your what are your go-to, if you can even say them or are comfortable saying them? What are your go-to Reddit subreddits for toilet time?
Oh, yeah, I've never
Time?
thought of Reddit. I mean, I know Reddit has those places, but that's
Oh,
weird to me. So, like, most of my stuff would be like Apple or technology, or
mm.
I really like the instant regret one where people
Yeah.
do something stupid and then they regret it. Yeah, stuff like that. What's another one that I really go to? I feel like there's one that the Song of Ice and Fire Reddit. I
Ooh.
like to It's been so long since a book. Like, there's so many crazy theories to read. It's great for.
Oh, see, I love that. That's very like that feels like very intellectually stimulating. I'll go next because I think you guys, Ravi and Arjuna and whole family should know when I go bathroom because that's when I play Wordle. That's my Wordle time. First poop of the day is
Turtle.
usually. So I don't know if people know this or know what Wordle is. Wordle is the word guessing game. It's always a 5-letter word, and you have 9 chances, I
6.
believe.
6 chances.
Oh, it's 6. I'm thinking of Quirtle, which is the 4-word version of that. So Wordle is 6 chances, and you know, me and the family share our scores, or some of us do. Me and Arjuna play daily. Dad usually plays daily. Ravi plays bi-monthly, and Mom never plays. So there we go.
Or
No,
Lauren.
I
Lauren's
play somewhat daily. I just share it when it's 3
Good.
or less.
Oh, yeah, I share my losses and my wins.
I've stopped sharing my losses. Like 2 days
Oh.
ago. Didn't get that one. Edify. Tough
Edify,
one.
yeah. That was there's been some interesting ones. Sometimes a word comes up, I'm like, fuck you. It's not a word. Fuck you.
Have you wordled today, Krista?
I have, yeah.
Yeah,
Got
he
it in
sent
3.
it just before we jumped on this pod.
Yeah.
So.
When he
I
was pooping.
the pre-pod
When he
poop,
was
I was with
pooping.
Wordle right there. But so 40 minutes ago. So yeah, where I will say the one other thing I started playing. This is probably bad. The reason I brought up the device is that there's this really fun RPG mobile game called Cerealum
Tower
Ultimate.
defense.
Oh, I did go through a bunch of those. Those are fun. Cerealum Ultimate, which is like this gothic, dark fantasy version of Digimon or Pokemon. You know, either one. You catch monsters and you raise them. And it's just goofy. It's goofy, and they're trying to go for this like dark gothic vibe, but the writing is comedically childish. It just doesn't really work. But there's something very charming about it. It's all pixel art, so it's got that retro game feel. The music is fantastic. Do it for the music alone. But so I'll lose like 25 minutes just playing a little bit of that. But Arjuna, what is your Wordle? Wordle. I'm guessing it is Wordle.
Poodle.
Actually,
Poodle.
Wordle is if I'm going to bed and it's like midnight, you know, right before, like it's right after midnight, I'll do the Wordle right before bed, or like Wordle will be the very first thing I do when I wake up. Like I'll wake up, my alarm goes off, and then I'll do the Wordle. But what I normally reserve
Do the
for
word.
my poopings is going on my current favorite app, which is Zillow. I will go on Zillow and look at houses around the area, and then I was like, "Hey, this looks like a nice one. How much is this?" Everyone would be like,
$2 million.
What
Yeah,
what
it's
if
like,
I
well,
pooped here?
"Yeah." I was like, "What would my poop like here be like?
Yeah.
How many
Ju-
toilets are in this one?"
Juna's like, how much for this 1-bedroom shack? $2 million.
So Zillow is definitely a favorite of mine. Twitter has always been a good
no.
it's one I've
Come
been
on, get us something
using.
better.
Dude.
Well, back in the day,
It's X,
I
man.
still
It's
do a
X.
little
How
Twitter,
could
but not
you?
as much.
Yeah.
And then Wikipedia. I'm a big Wikipedia head. I like to look up Wikipedia articles for different movies and shows. And
Wait,
then
Archie, do you have your
go
phone
see
with
it.
you right now?
Yeah, it's right here.
Pull up Wikipedia and tell us what the last thing was that you looked at.
So my high school teacher would be like, so you like to get incorrect and inconsistent information?
Yep. Sure do.
The last thing I looked up was the 2010 American coming-of-age romantic drama film Remember Me, starring Robert Pattinson. If anyone's familiar with this movie, it has an iconic twist at the end where he is in the towers of 9/11 and then dies.
I don't even know.
Okay, well,
Question:
I kind of remember that, but
What exactly were you looking up about the movie on Wikipedia?
I was talking with coworkers about movie twists, and we were trying to remember the title of this specific movie.
okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
So you're wait, hold on. I'm trying to get something right in my head here. Okay, so you said to us a couple of minutes ago, you look at Wikipedia while you're taking a dump.
Sometimes, no, I have not. I have
Okay,
not,
so what,
obviously, in my
you're
last video.
texting your coworkers about?
No. I did. I looked at Wikipedia. The last time it was not during a dump.
Wait, you guys don't
Hey,
text while you're pooping?
I find that disrespectful.
I will
sometimes
text
will.
during a poop.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely text her.
It's
to poop.
almost
What I
the
don't
only time I
get-
can text.
Is the people who talk
Yeah,
on
that's
the
weird.
poop.
In
I'll go
public
in the work
restrooms,
bathroom and they're like
Public re-
having
that's
a
the worst.
meeting.
That's
so
worst.
stupid.
I always
can you
flush.
shut the fuck up?
Wait, do we have time for a small story?
Please, we have all the time in the world.
When I was at LAX a few months ago, I went to the bathroom, which you guys might know this. I don't like to use public bathrooms.
Wait, shame the airline and the terminal. Go.
It was, if anyone's familiar with LAX, I believe it was Terminal 5, American Airlines, but it wasn't so if you remember, Terminal 5 now has that bus to like the additional terminals. It was at the additional terminals.
Yeah.
I went to the bathroom. The bathroom there in the additional one's pretty large. There's like 15, 20 stalls. I go in, I'm the only person. Somebody comes in. This always pisses me off. Somebody comes in and sits next to me in the stall right next to me when there's 14 other stalls. First of all, why? Second of all, they start shitting their brains out. I hear everything, and after every plop, they go meow. I'm quite serious. I was like,
Get the
what
fuck
is
out.
happening?
Get the
Like,
fuck out.
A
You're lying.
meowing shitter next to me. I was terrified. I texted Sahara. I was like, there was a man shitting his brains out. He is meowing next to me.
Are you sure?
I
Like,
said
you
it
were
was
hanging out
text.
with a
No,
kid?
you're on camera. It's a prank. You're on a prank. It's a prank show. It has to be.
You should have barked.
That's
I was
scary.
scared.
I'm scared of LA.
No, he should have meowed louder. You gotta show dominance.
No, you should have.
That person
Kick
walks
the
in.
stall.
What the fuck?
So, just so you know, then this individual purposely sat next to you and did this to just fuck with you.
Clearly,
Surely.
but it was also terrible because like he was shitting himself, like, and it smelled really bad, and like it was just all bad. It
Was he
just
trying
all
to be
bad.
polite? Was he trying to use the
Maybe.
mouth to cover up the
But why did he sit next to me? Like, sit on the other end.
It's very possible
been
that he
14
thought
stalls
he
between
was
us.
the only one in the bathroom.
Yeah.
What time of day was this at,
Yeah.
Arjuna?
It was like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
What day of the week? Like a weekend? Weekend
Details,
day?
man, details.
It was on the
Wednesday?
way there.
What way did
Saturday.
you go?
It was Saturday. This was our flight to Seattle for the
So it's
Alaska
possible.
cruise.
It's possible this person was leaving LA
Forever.
and like had just been partying for like a week straight and was fucked out of their brains.
Oh,
I mean, that's
Yeah.
quite possible.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Saturday flights out of LA are going to be cheaper. So
That is.
Yeah.
I mean, that is like a top 10 most bizarre thing. to
Meth
happen.
bender.
This is why I don't like using the bathrooms in public. Like
This
public
is
bathrooms.
why. This is why.
This is
The
why.
meowing. The meowing
Oh.
and the explosive shitting. Yeah,
I
right
used
next
to-
you. I understand.
it's possible. It's possible the meow was from a real cat too.
That would be insane.
That's actually
Yeah.
even worse. Oh my god.
It's also smelling this shit. It's meowing like, please stop. Please stop.
People travel with their pets.
I
Jim,
bring that up
did
just
it-
because
is it possible
Megatron's
the
literally
meowing-
outside the door and he's meowing like crazy. So
Do you think
my
he
God.
he has information about the shitter?
maybe
Yeah, maybe he's like, I know what's going on here.
I know who the
Yeah.
shitter is.
Wait,
This is a secret
is it
bathroom.
possible? Do you think it was a human meow or it could have been a cat meow? That's the last question I have.
So the first time I heard it, I did actually think it was a cat because it sounds so like a
Oh,
cat, but
it might
like
have been a real cat.
but it was after every plop, it was like meow.
Yeah,
You know what I
so
mean?
the cat was freaking out.
Maybe
Or it was
quite
trained.
well timed.
Or you know what? You know what? Here's another crazy idea. Maybe they were a furry, and that's like culturally how they act. I don't know that, but
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Who
Ravi,
knows?
Ravi,
you say you don't
you a
know
furry?
how you know that. I think you
I
do.
said I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I feel
Are
like
you sure?
do know.
Yes, I'm very
Well,
sure.
Like, Ravi, what's that thing poking out of your closet back there? That's like a little furry arm.
is that a butt plug with a tail?
Did you see a tail?
Oh my
I did
God.
not.
Oh.
I did not.
Oh man. I used to work at this place that had these beautiful windows in the bathroom, a great view. I loved it. And one time I had to sit in the middle stall though, because somebody was in the window stall. And it was a time of day, unfortunately for them, where the sun was on that side. So their shadow was cast into my stall and they were having a wank.
Oh no. That's worse than that's probably worse
It's
than
way worse than the meow.
I don't know. The
Having a
meow
wank.
plops is
Yeah.
at work too, though. That is true. Like, and it was a coworker.
Did you know who it was?
I think I found out by the shoes,
Ugh.
which is
That's
why you
also
should
the
always
worst
bring
too,
poop
like the
shoes.
shoes. Yeah, like I like it, especially at workplaces where they have the stalls that go all the way down so you can't see.
Ugh.
I appreciate that
That's
because
bad.
it's so awkward when you're in the bathroom with your coworker and you can tell which coworker is and they're just not having a great day.
Oh man. Well, have you guys? I mean, I'm sorry. Have you guys ever gone into the bathroom at work and you sit down and your coworkers in the next stall and then they just start talking to you? While
That
you're
has not
both
happened to
shitting?
me, thank God.
That's
Yeah,
not
it
happened to me
happened to me.
either, but
I've
I've
had it.
heard I've been in a bathroom where two other coworkers
Yes.
are doing.
So it happened to my friend Dan, right? So we were working at Next Step Living, and someone else on our team, really awkward dude, apparently was in the bathroom shitting his brains out, like similar, without the meows, but like Dan goes in there. The coworker recognizes Dan from his shoes mid shit, starts talking to him like, "Hey man, I can't believe we got to memorize the new script because we're in a call center," and I just talking about the fucking new script. Dan comes out afterward, like comes down. He's like a little pale. He's just like, I can never look at this dude the same way ever again. He was already weird. He was already socially, maybe not all the way there. And this was just like, this was the icing on the cake where it was, bro, come on.
This is the browning in the toilet.
Yeah. Ravi, bring us home. Bring us home with an epic toilet activity.
I mean, probably similar to Lehrman, Reddit.
Yep.
Is my go-to.
Reddit.
Yeah. I like the Am I the Asshole one is a good one.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
That was funny. I like conspiracy theories, obviously.
gotta
I've
be
been checking
careful.
out the conservative one
Oh,
because
no.
that's also a good comedy space in my mind.
I can't go there anymore.
But it's fun to just see like the warped perception where it's like the thinking is just so screwed up.
Yeah.
It's
Have you,
crazy.
wait, so if you've been there recently, how are they taking the big breakup in their world?
Well, they're defending
Which one?
the Orange Man.
Orange Man, of course.
They're
Yeah.
defending like crazy. They're bringing up some really stupid things where it's like, so he went to Epstein's Island. That doesn't mean he did anything with underage people. And it's like, oh,
Not to laugh at the situation.
that's still
but
not a
laugh at
good
the
thing.
Yeah.
And also, how do you prove any of that? But,
yeah, why would you assume he didn't?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know why, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, we're not a political pod.
Well, we can be.
We all
are
have
now.
our own beliefs.
We're a poop
yeah.
podcast.
All right.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard about I haven't. I don't read the news.
Yeah.
I try not to.
Yeah. I check it once a week. Like on a random day, I'll be like, let me just check in, make sure I haven't missed anything. I'm like isolated or insulated enough where I might not see something important for a few days. Something groundbreaking, Like I remember, case in point, we were in Japan, and the Pope died, and I would never have known unless Ravi and Lauren were
That there
found
was
it
a Pope?
online and told me. I'm like, oh shit, the Pope died. New Pope's from Jersey.
I see what you did there. You said
Oh, wow.
shit, bringing it back to the toilet talk.
Bring it back to
Is that
Oh,
when you found
no.
out you were on the toilet, and that's when you found out the Pope was
me?
dead?
Yeah,
No,
were
we're
you
in
on the
a-
toilet
we're
when
in
you
a
found out the Pope
Uber.
was dead? Oh, not away mode.
No,
No.
no.
Yeah,
think
no.
the
I used to
title-
think it was in. Go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I think we've come up with a title for this episode of the pod. It's AI and shit. Or
Shitty
shit AI.
Shitty AI. I do sometimes like do Chat GPT AI stuff on the toilet. That's also a nice time.
Oh,
But yeah. But no, I used to think it was important to stay up to date with stuff and like just but it's like so much of it is just stress with no outlet or recourse for anything. Like
Yeah.
so
there's
why?
nothing you can do about it.
Like, and even some of the big stuff, it's like if there are nukes on the way, I don't have a car fast enough to get out of the way. There's
Well,
no
so you'll hit
early
this thing
warning
called
news
traffic.
fast enough
yeah.
here in New York.
The only reason I'd want to know if nukes were on the way was so I could just take a shot and put my hat on and some sunglasses.
Which
I'm
one?
getting naked.
And
Hopefully I
enjoy
don't
the
get
fireworks.
sunburned.
Put my hat on, put the sunglasses on, enjoy the fireworks.
I
You
would
guys
just
ever
reload
see
the last save.
sunlight
Yeah.
or whatever?
Sunshine.
Sunshine, yeah. Danny
Yeah.
Boyle. I love
Yeah.
it.
Oh, 28 years later. Who's excited?
I've never seen the other two movies either.
Whoa.
Oh, you
The
guys
first
are
one
on
is
that.
great.
Yeah.
The second one
one
has
is
the
mid.
best intro ever and then sucks.
And
Okay.
28 years later is going to be incredible,
Well,
I hope.
but I don't think
28
Danny Boyle
years
did
more
the
of
second
a-
one.
Right. Because
He did do the second one now.
He's doing this third one though, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
interesting.
then there's
Bring it
another
home.
like 28 movie coming out next year, right?
There's
They already
another?
shot like a spin-off.
Oh,
28
really?
centuries later?
No, it's called something else. I forget. It's like a spin-off movie.
They should definitely do like 28 centuries later. It has nothing to do with the other three movies because it's so far in the future. It's just about like some futuristic family going about their day.
The futuristic zombie family who's like, oh, these people over here so calm.
Oh, I love that. They evolve and become like regular,
They're just,
semi-regular.
it turns out that they're us. And that's how we as humans came to be.
Let's push past our creative blocks and write this movie.
Yeah,
how
sometimes
I bring
pushing
it
past
While
is just
we're on the
lowering
toilet.
your standards.
Yeah.
www.chatgpt.com.
Well, folks, I think that's going to do it. Does anyone else have any last minute, last second things they want to shout out?
I saw Ballerina.
The hell is that?
Yeah,
John
what?
Wick, the John Wick spinoff.
Oh, is it? It's a spinoff. Okay, that's
Is it
why
good?
when I saw it, I was like, "That seems like a John Wick."
Doesn't it have a
It's-
lower Rotten Tomato score than all the other ones or something?
It's like if you like John Wick movies and you go for the action, you'll like that. But like, I
Okay.
think for me, I've never been invested in the John Wick like lore or story elements,
Same.
like really, and so none of that part of the movie works for me. But the action's great, so
Nice.
like that's fine.
Okay.
Sounds like a John Wick movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one was great, and then by the third one, I was like, everybody's an assassin. Like it's
Yeah.
just a world of assassins.
every single person
Yeah.
is an assassin.
Yeah.
That certainly continues in Ballerina.
Well, there we go.
assassin land.
Yeah. Good Lord. It's so funny. I have not felt any desire to watch a traditional TV show or movie in so long. I haven't watched one in months. I've been watching live play critical RPGs, like tabletop role playing. That's what
Critical RPGs.
Yeah, critical RPGs. Yeah.
I think you could say the name.
Oh yeah, critical role.
Now we're on the algorithm.
Yeah. No, we're hitting all of it.
Matthew Mercer.
Ryan Akaba.
Brennan Lee Mulligan. Dimension 20. This is going to hit the roof.
Oh man, we done it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening or watching. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/wasitgood. You know what? Just type in "was it good" and you'll probably maybe find us. and other places too. Oh, you can I think watch listen to our podcast on Spotify. Do you know we're on Apple Podcasts?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
we're on
Apple
Podcast.
Podcast doesn't have a
apparently.
video feature, so it's just the audio.
We on Amazon Prime podcast yet?
Don't think Amazon Prime has a podcast.
Shocking.
It's not called
Wait.
Amazon Prime. It's called something else.
Shocking
Just
news,
Amazon
everyone.
Podcast or Amazon Music.
Apple Podcast doesn't have video options?
No,
No,
video
They used
pods.
to.
No, they have video stuff, but not video podcasts.
No, I know,
Oh.
but they used to have video podcasts. That's
Well,
weird.
it's-
No, anyway, I'm just saying, like, I didn't realize they had taken that away.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Or as some like to say in the biz, digital shows.
Oh.
Goodbye.
Caw.